ready on recording? I think we are.
Yeah, I actually started recording already a while ago, but they're just sitting around jaw flapping. But I guess that works out because my broadcasting software crashed, so we in there.
And here we go.
And here we go. Start Battle of the Big Bodies. Yep. Bull versus Rockman.
Yeah, this is a fun matchup because it actually favors Rook, which you might not think.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I mean, not by a huge amount or anything, but I think it does.
Normally, people like to say the conventional wisdom, quote unquote, is that in the grappler triangle between Midori, Trock, and Rook, that Trock beats Rook, Rook beats Midori, and Midori beats Trock. Uh-oh, terrible start for Bomber.
Yeah, well, this is not the match that's going to support the Rook meta, it looks like.
Yeah, that wasn't a good start. So I'm going to take a quick look here at the ELO chart. Caralad is actually the 95th percentile on the ELO. He's really high. He's got 1,823. Whereas Bomber is down here. Oh, he's at the 90th percentile, so he's actually not far below him. At 1,700, they only have about 150 difference, so this could definitely go either way. Bomber just keeps swinging and eventually punches him in the face. Yeah, actually, Caralad and Bomber are both international players. You were talking about how there's kind of dominated by the U.S. players, but Bomber is from Australia, and Caralad, I believe, is English.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's that's fun. Kind of a
Bomber gets through a 6 damage 4 attack to land his Windmill Crusher. Ooh, tags.
hugs. Oh.
Yeah, Caralad going
great.
for the faster side of Bull Rush, I guess, just to tie with the clap, Rook's clap, if he happens to use that.
Yeah, there's
Wow, why can't I remember the name of that move? I remember the name of all moves, and I can't remember the name of
thunderclap.
Thunderclap.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I knew you had you on. I knew I had you on here for a reason. You're already proving your worth.
Like
Going ham.
Trock's kings are finding their targets more so than the Windmill Crushers.
Yep, and Bomber used a lot of large normals very early in the match, so those Lockhorn skewers aren't nearly as scary to pull out now. And his damage is amplified by having that really early double power-up, so Bomber's almost dead.
Yep. This is sort of the big problem with Rook because I find he's sort of an inevitability character. You know, he wants to use his big life total and the bump that gives him to sort of uh, pressure you with the fact that you can't do advantageous trades because of rock armor, and he can just get in 10 points of damage here and there with his fast throws and be patient sort of thing, but it does mean that he doesn't have a lot of combat potential, even in the hands of a really good player, outside of something like CMB. But, getting hit by CMB is a choice, isn't that what they say?
Yes, Bomber, I believe, coined that phrase, getting hit is a choice, because you never ever have to get hit by it if you don't want to. You can just attack every single turn.
Speaking of which, we haven't seen any special blocks out of Bomber this game. I think there's a single 3 in his discard, but I think that was a throw.
Nope, he just special blocked Caralad's Gold Burst last turn.
Ugh.
Yeah. So it sucks because obviously Rook can't do anything about Gold Burst, but
that wouldn't trigger it, so. Some characters are more equal than others.
Bomber spending cards to get this straight through and get a free ace and a little bit of damage. But yeah, you were definitely completely right about that inevitability thing. Is that Rook's life total is one of his weapons, and he has to use that to threaten rock armor. But when you only have 14 life, and you can die before the rock armor even goes off, then
yeah, gotta find those 5s in a hurry, I guess.
Yep. So now he can't rock armor, and he's in a horrible spot.
Just CMB him.
Yep. If only 4 of from Bomber's 5 cards were aces. Okay, he manages to avoid some of the chip here, which is a real threat at this point.
Yeah, and that was the last jack, so that's something.
Yes.
Croc has used a great deal of his face cards. So
He has, and he's used them correctly because Bomber's just about toast.
well, yeah, sure, but if he can somehow hang in there and not get chipped out, then maybe it's possible for him to navigate a way back in there, I think.
Yeah, if he hits with a
But
wall of vines, then he actually has a good shot.
yeah,
And there it is.
and yeah.
Alright, still advantage Caralad, but Bomber can
for
definitely
sure.
win now. Oh yeah, forgot about War Stomps. That's not great.
No. Especially because with Rook sitting on such a low hand, he can very easily be checkmate.
Yeah, and now that he threw out a third ace, there's no threat of another wall of vines. Yeah, I figured it was going to be a special block, and that Caralad was going to go for the even mix-up. And he did.
And that's it.
Good first game to Caralad.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't even know their damn stables. I did such little research on this match.
No, it was mentioned. Let me see if I can find it.
God. Here we go. Okay. So Caralad has Troc, DeGray, and Zane, a top-tier selection. And Bomber has Rook, Manelker, and Zane. So a lower-tier selection. Although, obviously, Zane
Except for
is
Zane.
amazing, yeah.
I don't really know what characters these players favor. Do you think we're likely to see the Zane mirror?
I hope not, but when you're on your last legs and you need a win, Zane is always the guy to bring out, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Zane is kind of a funny character because I know a lot of people really dislike playing against him and think he's too powerful, which may be, but I mean, I think it's actually very interesting to play against him. But the reason I don't really like him is that I feel like shenanigans is sort of contrary to the spirit of the game with hand management and puts too much emphasis on his top decks, basically.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that in itself is the main problem with him. It's not his power level, it's the fact that his power level derives from a system which shouldn't really be part of Yomi, which is random top decks for damage.
Yeah. Lum has a bit of the same thing, but...
He does have a bit of the same thing, but he has drawbacks, like sometimes if he pulls the wrong card, it hurts him, etc., stuff like that. And he has to do a lot more management to activate these things.
Yeah.
Here we have it.
All true. That didn't take long.
No. It escalated quickly. All right, so the Zane mirror is super dumb. The entire match is about proper timing of your crash bombs. Because once Zane is on the ground, the other Zane has nearly impossible to beat odd normal. The only thing you can beat it with is, well, crash bomb and then maximum anarchy. But the best part about crash bomb is that it switches who's knocked down, and then suddenly you're the one beating them senseless. Oop, we got a speed hole.
There's one crash bump gone.
Yeah, and he
can't
use either of those cards off of the shenanigans, so we'll just get a quick 28 damage.
Anyway, though. Yeah.
So it doesn't end with a knockdown, but 25 damage is still pretty respectable.
He's still on 7 cards. Speaking of the blue cards in Zane's deck, is there any particular value to using C and D in this matchup?
Well, the value
it feels
is
like that's probably pretty bad.
The value is when they power up for maximum anarchy, then you use it.
Yeah, you can get rid of it if it's known, but
yeah, otherwise, no. I mean, in general, Creator and Destroyer is only strong if you know they have aces in their hand. Normally, it's just throwing away a card for a small amount of knowledge, knowing what they don't have.
Yeah. Against some characters, though, it can be using if against Midori, for example, even if he doesn't have Final Dragon Buster in particular, if you have a read on particular hand, it can be good to get it away and disrupt his gameplay.
Bomber bumbled a crash bomb in neutral.
And it looks like he's going to get good knocked down for it.
Yep. Alright, so Bomber has spent a burst and a crash bomb, so he could be vulnerable to an odd mix-up here.
Yeah, and Caralad has not taken any damage yet. Looking grim.
Oh! Caralad plays it safe and gets punished by the insane Bomber.
As soon as I say it. Yeah.
Although, coming up off of knockdown, I would like to think he would have played a slower throw if he had one, so I'm assuming he's fairly light on them. And yes, Bomber did shenanigan away his second Joker.
Yep. Caralad still has both of his, but
Bomber gets the first set of free mix-ups, so...
Yeah, we see what you were talking about, the strength of normal on knockdown. And minimum anarchy.
And
just like that, the life totals are basically even.
Yep, the only advantage really is Caralad still has both Jokers.
Is one of them? It was.
Once again, flipping bad shenanigans on a real Joker causes them not to combo and the bluff to go away, or not the non-bluff to fall flat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
By that logic, this is the second Joker, but should have listened to the Nance.
Although he does still get a knockdown off of this, and 2 crash bombs and 2 bursts are in Caralad's discard pile. So it's quite possibly that Caralad is checkmated here to a beefy odd normal. Nope.
But
Oh, that's terrible for Caralad.
It's great play from Bomber, though. Patience.
Either patience or he didn't have an odd normal.
Yeah, okay, that's possible, but yeah, he has actually played quite a few of them. Oh, and there goes another crash bomb.
Well, Caralad might be dead here.
Might.
Yep, he's dead.
He's dead. Ooh. Evens it out.
great skill required to win in the Zane mirror. And so this is loser's bracket of the tournament. Almost everyone's in loser's bracket by this point. It looks like Caralad had to beat Face on Mars to get here, and Bomber beat Flagrant Angles.
Yeah, and the winner is going to face me afterwards.
Ooh. Yep.
That'll be interesting.
Caralad lost to Southpaw Hair, and who did Bomber lose to? Bomber lost to MR75.
Yep.
All right, first
Both
turn kicking.
Very players.
What was that?
No, never mind.
Okay.
Go on. Ooh. Turn 2 cheeky bow bunker.
Yeah, he went with a turn 1 5 normal into nothing. It did beat the king, so it was the correct play, but still, it must be aggravating if you're the rook player. So, what do you think of this matchup? People in general think it's probably slightly de Grey favored, but mostly even.
I don't know a lot about de Grey's matchups, to be quite honest, which is a bit because I used to be a de Grey main back when I played in paper, but when I found the app, I basically stopped playing him altogether. So ever since I actually learned anything about Yomi, I basically never played de Grey. But just theory crafting, I would think that slight de Grey favor is probably correct, because de Grey gets a lot of mileage out of his innate.
So you played paper. You played the pen and paper version first, huh?
Yeah.
No, not the pen and paper, just the paper. What am I?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Dope.
But yeah, I did, and that's where I have all of my de Grey experience from, such as it is. But as I learned more about the game, I felt like his playstyle isn't one I prefer. So I haven't really ever learned him as on a serious level.
So, what would you say? What playstyle do you prefer? Since you seem to have a very good handle on exactly what you like about the game and what you're looking for in a character.
Well, I prefer the aggressive characters like Jaina and Gwen, and also some of the Vortex characters like Arg and Persephone, which is maybe a bit of an old. But I think the thing is, I like to have sort of advantage time. I don't like to rely a lot on mix-up games, which I feel like de Grey is playing a very reactive, make-you-guess kind of game. I'm bad at that.
Nice. A man who knows what he wants.
Yeah.
Bomber spending 3 cards to get that 10 damage, but at least he did get Caralad to dump another card. Not that it matters.
I think in that position you have to do it, because you really need to get some damage on Caralad so you can start. Yeah. start attacking, basically. Otherwise, you're just going to get ground into powder by the gray.
Yeah, I agree. A nice little 14 damage combo, plus a card draw.
Ooh.
Plus, does he get the moral high ground +1? I think he does.
He does.
Bing! Yes, Bomber's quite the goon. Nice throw, bringing it back.
Yeah.
He let Caralad get up and loses one of his 5 blocks, but that was a pretty respectable time to play it, since Wake Up Kings or other specials are quite strong, especially from DeGray, since everything he has is slow except for 2 Magic King, or except for his Magic Kings, which beat everything. Oh, he had one.
He had one.
And now, if the aces hit, they will kill because of the moral high ground damage.
Yep.
So I'd be looking for Nate, just raw Arbiter right here. Nope. He has another point PCP. Luckily, Bomber smacks him away. But if he had played the raw Arbiter, that would have been game.
Would have won, yeah.
Bomber most likely out of special blocks, or at least he was last turn.
This could well be it. It is.
Yep, and that's Caralad with another point. Now he has to win with Zane. Which is not that hard.
No.
Although, that being said, Rook is actually one of Zane's rare losing matchups.
I didn't know that. He's not. Although it stands to reason. Basically for the same reasons as the Rook, as Trock, I mean, except slightly less so, right?
Exactly, yep. Because he has the king to get off the ground and cover various options. Plus, special block can, against Maximum Anarchy, is the greatest thing.
Yeah, that is just spectacular when it happens. On the other hand, Trock has more damage off his throws. So.
Yep. So yes, Trock is definitely better against Zane, but Rook is still pretty decent.
Still good, yeah. Zane's matchup chart.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker for Rook. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Losing in speed to a 9 attack. Feels bad, man.
And he gets the knockdown. Although, if Rook has the king here...
Yeah, king is a very strong option on wake up since it beats all the mix-up normals, but he goes with an odd block, a special block, to try to cash in 7 to 9 damage. Or it's also a strong play on Rook's wake up to play a queen when you're Zane because it beats the king. So Caralad seems to be starting strong on every single game played so far. Like, he just jumps out to a huge life advantage, and then Bomber has to, like, struggle to try to bring it back.
Yeah. But he almost does it. Or sometimes he does do it. But both of these players really good at playing with their backs against the wall.
And right now, Bomber's back is definitely against the wall. Caralad's at game point. He's knocked down, and he only has 26 life, which is a pretty sizable one Zane combo away from...
Ooh, and this could be it right here.
Got with a lucky enough pull on shenanigans, or I guess he could have high enough normals in his hand. Nope. In fact, now that Bomber just lost that 2 life, he can die to a throw combo from Zane, so not great. Oh, and he had another ace. Getting Slipstream for half price. Arthur, is this it? One crash bomb, and it's over.
Yeah, crash bomb here is checkmates everything but a special block. There it is.
And Caralad caps it off with a perfect. Man.
Brutal. But that's the aim for you.
Yes, it is. Well, Arthur, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to get some new blood in here, and you have a good amount of knowledge. I guess it's due to your playing on paper.
Well, I like to read up, and I make a point of always asking people who beat me for advice on how to improve my play. So I try to sort of absorb as much as I can of theory.
Excellent. Well, thanks a lot, and I will see you around.
See you around.
And we're going to have a little etude for our departed friend Bomber. Let's see. Somewhere, somehow, we've been denied. Hand in hand, we walk blind, pretending, defending. It's all the time. Hand in hand, we walk blind.